Hi, I'm Matthew Medina with San Antonio We Are Change. I want to talk to all of you all about an upcoming event in Texas, a really big event. On October 16th, President Barack Obama will hold a presidential forum on community service. It'll be hosted by George H.W. Bush. The two presidents have so much in common, I'll get into that later. But national service, it's been at the forefront of Obama's campaign since even before he got nominated. If you look at Obama's chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, he was in a lobby group and he has written a book on how to get compulsory service in American society. So the SERV Act was signed this year and it appointed $5.7 billion into community service. So with this much money being dropped into community service during this recession that we're in, it really begs a hard, in-depth look into what exactly is national service, community service. And to a lot of young people, community service is something you need to do to get off probation. And to a lot of other people, it's helping out your community, building houses, being a mentor to kids. So with this much money being invested, we're going to take a really deep, in-depth look. So first, we can look at a really big youth group, a youth corps that's sprung up the last couple of years overseas. It's a lot of young kids. They love the president. They wear T-shirts with the president's face on the front. And this youth corps is sponsored by the government and government-friendly corporations. And this youth corps would actually be in Russia. It's called the Nashi. And they take in young kids with no ideals. They have summer camps. They have fun. And they teach these young kids leadership. However, with time, we have seen that the youth group actually, they get a little radical because of what they're taught, the idealism that they're taught.
Nashi claims 10,000 members, and its goal is to transform Russia's largely apolitical youth into activists, but always within the Kremlin's comfort zone.
Is really big pro-nationalist drive that they have, this passion to defend their country. And they're actually indoctrinated in this so much that they see other young kids in their own country that don't exactly agree with their government's policies. They see them as traitors, they see them as treasonous. They're actually turned against their own people that might not agree with their idealism.
These people had no ideological motivation. They were simple Russian students, school children who came for free summer vacation. Later, seminars began, forums, roundtables, with outstanding political scientists and politicians. They came, talked to these guys, told them who's with us and who's against us. What is the opposition like?
It went from something good and it's turned into something that's divided their country.
They also organize military-like units meant to counter opposition protests and to stage their own.
So after taking a look at a big youth corps in Russia and seeing how well that went and the direction that it actually ended up going in, we can get a better idea of where this group can go and where it can go wrong. So we need to look exactly what's been said about the youth corps in America.
Citizenship is not an entitlement program. It comes with responsibilities. Everybody somewhere between the ages of 18 and 25 will serve 3 months of basic training and understanding in a kind of civil defense.
So is this compulsory then?
In the sense it's required of everybody.
We started Citier because we believe in the power of young people to change the world. Young people are able to tap into a deep sense of idealism if only they're asked and they're given an opportunity to serve.
We're all in this together. We're all together in a sense of building not only a better America, but a better world.
Serve the world.
Working cross-culturally, working internationally.
We aspire to be a global nonprofit that's helping to build democracy through community and national service all over the world.
For me, the Red Jacket is about shedding our personal skins and taking on a universal skin.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
One of the things that if you talk to our generals, they are desperate for is a civilian counterpart to our military forces.
They're selling these kids on a guilt trip about poor nations, and they're telling them it's their duty to go over there and help them. They're telling these kids, they're actually calling them global citizens and telling them it's their duty to do global service. Now, there wouldn't be anything wrong, there's nothing wrong, as a matter of fact, with helping out your local community and helping build houses and helping out people that really need the help in your local community. However, when these institutions are indoctrinating these kids in the same idealism as world leading industrialists post World War II. That's something far, far, far from what has made this nation so great. That's far from the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the individualism that's made this country great. Instead, we're hearing that they need to give into this globalist collectivism, and that's actually what George Bush and Barack Obama have so much in common. Watch these videos right here.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Something really to keep in mind also is what's on top of these groups like City Year and AmeriCorps, and that is the Corporation for National and Community Service. This group is actually integrated with Homeland Security after September 11th, and this group is the Corporation for National and Community Service is somewhat of an umbrella organization that then branches down to lower level groups like AmeriCorps, City Year, Be the Change, all these nonprofit groups. And if we keep in mind what Homeland Security has said this year, what they're actually, these reports, these assessment reports that they're releasing, we're seeing some very, very alarming things. Like, first, let's look at the left-wing extremism report. And this document, Homeland Security is saying that animal rights activists are potential terrorists. They're also saying hackers are potential terrorists. Most famous of these assessment reports is the right-wing extremism report. And again, this report goes out on the extreme and lumps all kinds of groups and tries to fit them into one wing. They go as far as to say returning veterans coming home from war. They're saying that returning veterans are potential terrorists. And one of the most concerning bits of information released this year is that Homeland Security is taking the Boy Scouts and training them in military tactics. In one scenario, as reported by New York Times, Homeland Security had young boys in a mock scenario where they're actually fighting against a veteran, an Iraq veteran. Head of Homeland Security, Napolitano, said this year in front of the Globalist Council on Foreign Relations, she told them that we need a network of citizens to be the eyes and ears for Homeland Security. And they would give them a list of things to report, and citizens all across the nation need to report back to Homeland Security. And all this information is alarming because Homeland Security is what is actually on top of the Corporation for National and Community Service. The corporation heading up AmeriCorps, City Year, the same City Year that's showing the commercial with the kids doing military physical training. All this information is alarming because it's an indoctrination. It's idealism being put on young kids who are hopeful and want a bright future and want to be a change, and they're being exploited. So it's something to be very concerned about. I think it's very important that all parents and concerned Texans and Americans make it out to this event on October 16th at Texas A&M University. So I think it's more important to go there and try to educate and talk and communicate with our community. I think that should be our community service. Going there and protesting against Obama, protesting against Bush, I think it's a dead end, and it only further separates and divides us as a people. We Are Change San Antonio hopes on making it to the event, but what we really need is some help. We're asking for all your help out there. We really want to burn as much DVDs as we can and get as many flyers together and make the 3-hour road trip. And it would really help so much. It would be tremendous if all you guys can maybe donate $5, $10 to our chip-in. We'll put the chip-in information on the YouTube video info. And basically anything you guys can do to help us would help tremendously in getting our citizen media group, our citizen activist group over there. We don't want to go to protests. We want to go there to talk and communicate with the youth. So any help you all can give would be great to the group and great to the cause. And we hope to see as many of you Texans out there. And we really want to be the change we want to see without being guided by 5.7 billion indoctrination idealism system. So we hope to see all of you all out there, and I hope you like the video. Spread it around. God bless you all. Take care. Long live the Republic. Long live freedom. Long live the Constitution. Peace.